Okay, before we move on to the rest of the lesson, we are just going to do a quick review for the content that you need to understand today's lesson. First of all, let's take a quick review of the past simple tense. We use the past simple tense to talk about things that happened and finished happening in the past. We often use it to tell a story that could be in history, books, newspaper reports, and so on. Do you remember that the past tense of most regular verbs are formed by adding d, ed, ied, en, n, and t? The past tense of irregular verbs is formed in many different ways. If you look over to the right, you will see the past simple tense for first person, second person, and third person in singular and plural. I was, you were, he, she, it was, we were, you were, and they were. In today's lesson, we're going to be doing conditional sentences. We use conditional sentences to talk about possibilities. What if? These are hypothetical situations. Hypothetical situations are when you imagine things that could have happened that didn't really happen. Collins' dictionary says, if something is hypothetical, it is based on possible ideas or situations rather than actual ones. In other words, it's possible events. It's asking the question, what if? What if it rains? What if I win the lotto? What if I put water in the freezer? There is not just one structure for conditional sentences. Each type of hypothetical situation has a different sentence structure. There are 5 different types of conditional sentences. We have done the type 0 and type 1 conditional. Today we will look at the type 2 conditional. Before we go on to the type 2 conditional, let's just review type 0 conditionals. When do we use type 0 conditionals? When the result is a certain known fact. So we know for sure that it's real. What happens when we put water in a freezer? We know for sure that the water will freeze. What happens if you drop a glass? We know it will break. On the right-hand side is the formula for type 0 conditionals. If you put water in the freezer, it freezes. We have if to show that the result X depends on the condition Y. The comma separates the clauses. There are 2 clauses here. If you put water in the freezer and it freezes. The tense remains in present simple for both clauses. I am, you are, he, she, it is. So for type 0 conditional, Amar is funny. Am, are, is. The type 1 conditional. Do you remember doing the type 1 conditional? Okay. We use the type 1 conditional when the condition is possible, when the result is likely. What happens if you planned a camping trip but it ends up raining that weekend? You are likely to cancel the camping trip. It is possible that it will rain. Raining is the condition. And if it rains, the result is that you will cancel your camping trip, which is likely to happen. To make a sentence using the type 1 conditional, we have if plus the condition it rains with a comma followed by a result. I will cancel my camping trip. If also shows that X, the result, depends on Y, the condition. Over here, the comma separates the clauses. The tense remains present simple for the condition and the result is in future simple. So for the condition, am, are, is, and for the results, we have will plus the base form of the verb. Have a look at the table at the bottom. You can pause the video if you would like to go through each one. Now, let's quickly review condition and result. Remember, a condition is something that influences a situation. It has the power to change an event, cause something else to happen. For example, putting water in a freezer will cause it to freeze. Rain might cause you to cancel your camping trip. For the first example, putting water in a freezer is what influences the situation and has the power to change the event. It can cause something else to happen. What that means, if you don't put the water in the freezer, it won't freeze. But if you do, it freezes. The same with rain. Oh, sorry guys. I've gone too far here. Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, it's a little bit jumbled up here. I apologize. The result. The result is a consequence of the condition or the outcome. So for example, putting water in a freezer will cause it to freeze. Rain might cause you to cancel your camping trip. So freeze is the consequence of a condition or the outcome, and canceling your camping trip is also a consequence of a condition or the outcome. Now, go to the next slide and you will see there is a quick little quiz for you to do.